Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka GeekXX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Weak Hero. We're now on to episode 6. So in the last episode, we see that Human and Baekjin finally have their confrontation. Baku really tried to fall in line and fall under Baekjin's leadership, but he just was sick to his stomach with what he was doing. So he, after seeing that Baekjin really had no intention of ever leaving the people he cared about alone, he finally decided to not only quit being part of the union, but also basically said, don't ever call me again, don't write me, we done. So Baekjin was very upset about that because all he ever wanted was to have, Baku under his command. There was also a confrontation between Xian and Baekjin. And once again, Xian showed that he sees right through Baekjin. He's not scared of him. He sees exactly the kind of person he is and why he wants Baku in particular. And we saw that also in the other half of things, the other half of our what do we call them? The quartet. Gosh, I'm so tempted to call them Dumb and Dumber. But anyways, they went to the motorcycle club trying to find Baku, but instead they found that there was evidence that could help stop Baekjin, who they think is actually the top of this operation, which is naive. But anyway, they stayed a little too long and they got caught. And we see that they're currently running from a group of Baekjin's people who are looking to beat them up. So we ended with our boy Xian getting a call from the hospital saying that unfortunately Suho's condition is not getting any better. And this was the only contact they had for anyone because I guess no one's come to visit him from his next of kin. So he's got an interesting decision to make. Does he go to Suho, who this could be his final moments, or does he go and save his friends who could be in some real trouble? I don't know. Like I said, no wrong answers as far as I'm concerned. So let's jump into the episode. Just before I do though, a reminder that if you'd like to know when I drop episodes, please hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. So all right, correction on the episode. We're on episode 7. Episode 7, not episode 6. Good thinking. Quiet as a mouse.
여기로 숨는 거 존나 좋았다.
Shh. Shh. Why are you still talking? Y'all so damn loud. Y'all so damn loud. Okay with the roll. Just take out some skills I didn't know. Yeah. You remember there's 2 of them, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, but both of y'all, no brains. Yeah, these are the lessons, because I don't know. Apparently pain don't work on y'all. Please, someone come and, either just finish it or someone come rescue them, because this is just... I gotta give it to Juntei, though. He didn't give it up easy. Uh-oh. Y'all gonna die. It's nice knowing you. Bye. Bye. Good night. Yeah, you pissed him off, and he's been wanting to beat on somebody all day. So many punchable faces. And again, I don't mean the actors themselves. I mean the characters. Wow, you're gonna kill him. I'm not surprised, though. This little bitch can't fight fair. He tried. Period. Oh, that was close. Where is Xian? Bro, get your head looked out. I don't like this. That was a direct head wound with a crowbar. Oh, why are you backing up, bro? I thought you were badass. Keep going. Keep doing. No, don't stop him. No, don't stop him. No, let him go. No, let him go. This man, he said he's a badass. Should we? Self-defense. He's got a head wound to prove it. Hold on, I just gotta take this call. It's my mom. Oh, was he in a car accident? Because we did see the truck coming. But you know what? Baku going to the hospital would be a good idea. Pali. Oh, okay, fine. Why did they call him though and not his mother? Did he get messed up bad? Why they look so shocked? Why they look so shocked? Okay, his mom is there. I was like, what the hell? Okay. That is not your fault before you even start. Can a doctor look at him, please? Head wounds make me nervous. He looks okay, though. The face is not looking too bad. But if he's in here, obviously it's serious. Let's just hope it's a bad concussion, right? But you know what? Xian's got something to fight for. If he'd been hit at the beginning of the season, I'd be more worried because he has nothing to fight for. But but he's got friends now. Oh, we inside his subconscious, Xian's mind, finally. No mood for you.
좋았는데
Yeah, brief, but you can have some more. Just gotta pull through, buddy.
결국
Pretty sure this is the guy that turned into a
바보처럼 될 텐데.
complete asshat and went to the States when things got real.
다 다치고 망가지고 그렇게
This is where you say respectfully, get out of my subconscious. Get out. Interesting that he's back in the ring as well. He hasn't left here really since last season. Oh, I don't know what to expect from his mother, to be perfectly honest. Please don't say it's your fault, because it's not.
걱정하지 말고 얼른 들어가. 부모님 기다리시겠다.
Well,
괜찮아요.
Baku's like, I don't like my parents.
우리 시은이랑 친구하지 말아줘.
Oh, mama, this is the worst thing you could possibly say to him. That's not what he wants.
부탁할게.
I get why she thinks this is the problem, but you're way off on this one, mama. Oh no. I'm scared for what's going to happen to Baku. I don't think it's going to work out well for him this season. We know this show loves to just mess up kids that don't deserve it.
박구민은 어떻게 대성을 온 거야?
Indeed, how did he find out? Did you screw up,
내가
boss?
설명해야 돼.
Yeah, you do, actually, because we're all following you like a bunch of dumbasses. Anyway, you know, all of you, if you jumped him at once, as good as he is, he'd go down. Just saying. Just saying.
다 나가 이 씨발 새끼들아.
Oh, why are they assholes? They ain't do nothing except follow you.
밥 먹어.
Oh. Daddy making chicken unprovoked?
집에 왔으면 밥은 먹어야 될 거 아니야, 이 새끼야.
At least he said punk softly. Is that an improvement? He's like, is everything okay here? Okay, it's just this part in the show. It's gonna clear up.
어디서
Oh,
어떻게 벌어왔는지 안 물어볼게.
take it back.
어줍지 않게 어른 흉내내지 말고.
Pretending? It sounds like he's had to be the adult, sir. It's not like you were taking care of him.
그 중에 그 한 놈의 새끼가 나한테 야지를 주는데
He did, but it was the
그
truth.
새끼 그거 꽤
He went.
똘똘해 보이더라.
He is. Oh, props.
네가 나보다 잘 살았어.
He's
연락 안
recognizing
된다고
him.
찾아주는 친구들도 있고.
Well, maybe people would look for you, sir, if you weren't so
아니, 인마.
cantankerous.
그들이 평생 가.
That's true. Usually.
나 때문에.
You can't be responsible for other people, Baku. You really, really can't.
나 때문에.
There's only so much in your control. You can't be responsible for other people. These are all independent people with their own thoughts and their own decisions. The only person to blame in this situation is Big Jin for being. Anyway, let me remind myself I'm a Christian. I mean, does that help though? Like, there's no tie. This is just paperwork at this point. You need to be able to tie it to something.
그럼 그 친구가 이거 팔 때 돈 주고 받은 내역.
That's.
아니요, 그런 건 없는데.
I mean, it was worth a try. What else can he do?
조사가 안 되는데.
Right? Like, anyways.
오늘은 일단 잘 들어가고.
Oh, I completely forgot that there's a higher up.
그러면은 괜찮을 것 같습니다.
There's a higher up who might actually tell, you know, what's probably going to happen. We'll see. He might tip off the other guy who's going to go for Big Jin, and that's what's going to kick off some real ish. Because even though they can't do anything with it, really, it's true. Even if that guy's corrupt. Okay. I love that these guys actually film themselves doing this stuff because I love that there's evidence that exists. Thank you for being that stupid.
너 같은 새끼가 뭘 어떻게 할 수 있다고 생각하는 거야?
I would hang up. Honestly, I would hang up.
그거 하나 있다고 할 수 있는 건 없다고.
Thank you. I said that. You need more.
근데 왜 그렇게 불안해하는데?
Because I already went to the police. Thank you, Juntae. Learning from Shein.
친구들 건드리지 마.
Juntae! Their balls have not,
그럼
they've not
지워줄게,
snapped
사실.
up since. Not snapped up since. That boy said, I'm a man
필요
now.
없고.
I'm gonna die that way. You're lying, or you wouldn't be calling right now. Good for you, Juntae. Oh, is that Sanjay? Didn't realize you're still here. I just know your breath stinks.
나 얘네가 시키는 대로 해.
Why would he do
너
that?
그러다 진짜 뒤져.
Maybe he's willing to do that. That's what being strong means. Being brave.
싫어.
Exactly. You wouldn't know though, because you've been a bitch your whole life.
싫어.
Y'all weak. Six of you with a kid that don't fight.
뭐야 이 씨가.
Thank you. Someone need to do it.
금방 왔네.
He has them on their knees.
인사 좀 나눠.
Thank you. I mean, I hate to say it, but kinda.
너한테 이런 말 할 줄 몰랐는데.
근데 너 은장 대장 맞냐?
Why? Because he doesn't want to kill everyone,
고맙다.
right? You're trying to get me to fight. I don't want to fight you, bro. Yeah, I know. Such concepts. People with dignity, self-respect, a purpose in life. Oh, it's falling apart for you there. Oh no, who's here? Somebody at the police station tipped off your boss.
다 해결했으니까
Did you?
걱정 마세요.
해결!
I think they get to decide if it's taken care of. You know.
내가 언제까지 짭새들 연락을 받아줘야 하니?
How'd you miss? Such a big target.
오야지 다 됐네.
That's not his dad, is it?
그래서 가오도 잡고.
That would explain a lot.
선 존나 넘네 진짜.
Did he? It's pretty much the same he's always been.
미안.
I took balls. Wasn't the
진짜.
smartest thing you've ever done, but it definitely took balls.
가끔 보면 또라이 같아.
It's the company he
저희
keeps.
다 또라이잖아.
Did I say?
희연이도 또라이잖아.
Yes, actually, he's the most certifiable out of the group of you.
야 나백지!
뭐야?
입안에 나백친 찾는 것 같은데?
Is there another one?
한 뜨자 이 씨발놈아!
It's not what you want.
네 그 쓰레기 같은 연합도 해체하는 거다! 알겠냐?
Ooh, the whole school knows you run the union now. He's not the one who runs the union, though. Sorry, this is where you need Shion, because he would have told you this is not. Baekjin is smart, but he ain't that smart. Nor does he have that much reach. He's so happy that he didn't actually break up with him. Oh, he's like, oh, new colors.
다들 소식 들었지?
Who gave you access to the PA system, sir? Are there any staff at this school?
뉴턴 머시기 보면
Newtons, whatever.
작용에는 반작용이 있다더라.
Tired of getting bullied?
질것 같아.
I really don't know, bro. Unjang. Let's go.
예.
He didn't go in.
저번엔 내가 좀 그랬지?
Valid.
시은이한테
You should talk to him.
인사하고 가.
Thank you. You have to realize how rare it is for your son to have friends who are willing to stay in the hospital all night. Talk to him. He needs to hear you. He needs to get out of his head.
의사 말로는
He's refusing to wake up.
그냥 자고 있는 거랬거든. 차하고도 세게 충돌한 건 아닌데
He's just checking out. He doesn't want to deal with Suo.
이참에 푹 좀 쉬려고
That's a coma.
수면에 빠져 있는 거랬어.
That's a coma?
우리 시은이가 잠을 좀 못
I was
잤거든.
about to say, though, he does need to catch up on a little sleep. Coma might not be a bad idea if that's the only way.
근데 언제 깨어날지는
That's up to him.
시은이 의지에 달려있대.
Exactly. Come on, Baku, you need to give him one of your speeches.
그 친구들.
You need to get this demon out of your head. Get this demon out of your head.
너 나보다 걔네가 더 중요해?
Hell yes. What are you? Oh, not the tear. Baku, please hurry up.
나 가봐야 돼.
I will, not I have to. I will. Last of your guilt, let it go. You're not responsible for him any more than Baku's responsible for Baekjin. You heard Baku's voice and you want to wake up, don't you? That's what I thought. He just needed that voice.
잠깐만 있어. 의사 불러올게.
움직이지 마. 나 아직
Okay,
움직이지
relax, relax. Later. Oh, Suo, that's right. That's the last thing he remembers.
시은아,
Did Suo pass when he was out?
괜찮아.
I don't believe that.
네 친구 괜찮대.
I hope you're not lying.
수호라는 친구가 맥박이 좀 불안정했었는데
Oh.
미안하다고 지금 다 괜찮아졌으니까.
He really is okay? He really is okay. Okay. I mean, I didn't think Baku would lie to him, but you know, sometimes you say things to people who are not in their right mind, you know? I think this is the first time we saw him go in the room this season. He was always sitting outside.
너가 나한테 가르쳐줬던
Well,
거
at least you got to convalesce together.
친구가 있으면 좋다는 거.
It is good to have friends, especially
무슨
ones that really
좋다는
have
거.
your back. Exactly.
너가 나한테 해줬던 것들
He cracked open that cold heart of yours.
나도 애들한테 해보려고.
Pay it forward. That is the best way to honor Suho one way or another. Who there? Who this? Oh. The Three Stooges all failing out of school right now because they're waiting on you.
진짜 큰일 나는 줄 알고.
He's a worrier, Juntae.
사나이가 이런 걸로 울면 안 되지. 어?
Okay.
너도 어제 울지 않았어?
No! Had hot sauce in my eyes.
나?
No.
안구 건조증이 있어서 그래. 그 눈 오래 뜨고 있어.
아이고
Allergies,
울보
yeah.
새끼야. 글쎄 또 울었냐?
There's nothing wrong with crying, bro.
근데
About this big fight.
어떻게 됐어?
Let's talk about it. What did I miss while I was taking a little nap there? Shia knows you better than that, sir. Shia's like, well, now that I've had some rest and I've had some time to take care of my inner demons. I by inner demons, I mean just the one in particular that was haunting me. Yeah, I need to go ahead and get back to that whole revenge on Nabek Jin, right? Because we need to talk. We need to talk. You see, the reason I was even in the street to get hit by a car was because he took my friends and was gonna mess them up again. See, that's what happened. So now we need to go find him. Because there's one thing about my boy Shion, you know, Revenge is his best friend. You know, him and Revenge, they like this. He don't let things go. He don't like little bitches being out there, you know, free roaming in the world when they could be stopped, or at least when they need a, like, Baekchin needs a top to bottom, left to right, every degree, every angle, inside out ass whooping. Okay, it has to be so good that his ancestors in their graves shift and go, what the hell was that? That's how bad of an ass whooping that boy need. It's been coming a long time. You can tell growing up, his parents did not put hand to ass nearly enough. I mean, I know not everyone believes in physical discipline, but this is Korea. Most Korean dramas I've seen, these parents are not afraid to give their kids a little when they're not being too smart. And it looks to me like Baekjin, his family, seriously, they're backed up on the discipline because that boy is out of control. That boy is insane. What is going on there? How are you like this, sir? Now, look, we've heard nothing about all season. We've learned nothing about Baekjin personally, right? We don't know anything about him outside of the fact that he's running the union, that he's smart, and that he used to be friends with Baku. That's it. We see that he got bullied when he was a kid. Is that the trigger? I don't know. I really would have liked this season, actually, if they had shown us, like, if there was some level, like, again, they didn't have to spend a ton of time on it because I know that he's not the main character of this show, but considering he's being built up as this fairly big villain for all four of these kids, well, mostly I'd say Shion and Baku, but he's been built up quite a bit. So I'm like, I would have loved to take a little time, you know, in the episodes to show little pieces of why Baekjin is like this, because it seems like a sharp turn for anyone, right? Like, if he was like this as a kid, like if we heard Baku say, yeah, even as a kid, Baekjin had a mean streak. He was always trying to control people. He was always doing this, that, or the other, but it doesn't seem like that was the case. It seems like he seemed like he was a nice kid. Then Baku taught him how to fight and suddenly he just turned into the devil. Like, I mean, it's possible to some degree, I guess, because, I mean, I was bullied, but not to that extent, thank God. You know, mine was more of, you know, verbal, and then there was a little bit of physical, but nothing like that ever left me with like hospitalization level wounds, right? Nothing that crazy. But I just, even though that happened to me, I definitely was upset at those people. I just never took that as I need to hate everybody who's like that in my life, and maybe it's because of the way I was raised, but it just seems like an extreme reaction to being bullied, to just feel like I have to now just become this vicious person that's just devoid of any form of empathy. That just seems like a big jump is all I'm saying. Now, again, we don't know if there's more. We don't know what else might have happened. We also don't know the extent of the bullying that Big Jin went through. Maybe it was really bad before Baku stepped in, but from what I saw, like it was nothing above, how do I put it? Because it's so hard to quantify this. I mean, bullying at any level is horrible. And I mean, let me take it back. Let me take it back, because the truth is, just because that's the way that I handle it does not mean other people are going to see it that way. Some people are very, 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 very deeply affected by bullying. Sometimes there's something breaks in them in a very deep place when someone bullies them. So maybe that's what happened to Big Jin. I'm going to assume that's what happened to Big Jin, is somebody did something that was just like irrevocable for him as far as like who he was or who he could have become as a person. Or maybe he was always this way, and this learning to fight just gave him an outlet to be that way. I don't know. But I guess we're not going to know. We only have one episode left. And like I said, I'm really surprised we haven't gotten anything about that. But it's okay. Like, it's not like we need to, I guess. But it would be nice, considering the fact that they made this somebody that Baku already knew. Right? And I know that part of that's probably just so that we would have the parallels between Shion and Baku as far as their feeling, responsibility over people that they helped. But I don't know. I just feel like for how much they're going into it, it would have been nice to get a little bit of what's going on there with Big, especially because we have so many scenes with Big Jin outside of like him interacting with one of our four, right? We saw him with the boss of this whole operation several times. We see him interacting with Sungjae. Like, do you feel me? Like, those are all well and good, but if you're going to give me more of Big Jin, give me more of Big Jin. Like, tell me more about him. Like, let me learn more about him as a character. And I just feel like so far that's been dropped. Actually, not even so far. I'm going to say it was dropped because we have one episode left. Like, I don't see them packing all that in. They could, but even if they do, I feel like it's still a missed opportunity because we had 7 episodes to do it thus far. But anyway, coming on back, gotta give props, claps and snaps to Jin-tae. My man, from episode 1 and 2, he has gotten so much stronger as a person. And I said it definitely is the company that he's kept. Right? He's no longer with all the other kids that were being bullied. And again, I know that wasn't necessarily a choice for him, but the fact that he's not spending time anymore with kids that are in the same boat as him, as far as people who are scared and running from these bullies, he's now around people who are not afraid to kind of stand in their belief system, even if it means getting hurt. And, again, is it the greatest with him not being able to fight? Not necessarily, but we see that, he's building respect for himself. And I know it's something that doesn't always happen, so I'm not going to go out there and tell people this is necessarily the right way to go, but look at what happened with Sungjae. Sungjae is nuts. Okay, that kid has got a lot of issues, but his respect for Shion and Jin-tae came from them standing in their own and not letting themselves be intimidated, right? We saw it. He tried to do everything he could to intimidate Shion, and Shion never ever bowed to him, never buckled. He never did too much, but he never backed down, right? And then, of course, in that knockdown, drag down fight, I mean, like I said, I would call it a draw, although I really feel like if Sungjae really fought him for real again, he probably would win as far as skill. But the point was that Shion never backed down. Shion literally kept going with every last ounce of himself to just be like, I'm not going to go down the way you want me to. It's not going to happen that way. And so it worked, right? It worked so well that Sungjae said, I'm quitting the union. It worked so well. He said, you knocked some sense into me actually with that headbutt. Thanks, Shion. You gave me my sanity back. So he just said, he started to reevaluate his entire life decisions after that fight with Shion. And the fact I knew he would, because he was laughing on the ground after that fight, because I think it was refreshing to him to not see someone just willing to buckle in the face of fear, right? And it doesn't mean that Sungjae's a good person, by the way. He's still got all his issues, but I do like that he at least respected that Shion was not the one to push around. He wasn't going to get what he wanted from Shion anyways if he was looking for someone to be scared of him. And now with Jin-tae, the difference, right? If he'd seen Jin-tae episode 1, he would have tortured the crap out of that kid. But now, laying on that ground, and I love that he asked him when he said, why don't you just listen to it? Why don't you just do as they say? If you just did what they said and go along with it and let you go, you keep going this way, you're going to die here. And I love it. Jin-tae looked him straight in the eye and said, Shiro, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to be that person anymore. He doesn't want to be the coward he was called back in episode 1. He didn't like that feeling. This might be the end of him, but at least it's going to be on his own grounds. It's going to be in his own way. It's not going to be because some bullies pushed him to do something he didn't want to do. And so Sungjae, he respected it. He was like, if this kid who doesn't have any fighting skill is willing to stand up to 6, or was 5 of them, but include 6 including Sungjae, but 5 people talk about they're going to kill him right there, while the 5 of them had to be the ones to jump a one little guy that they know can't fight. Yeah, Sungjae said, I know where my respect lies. I love it. He beat all those losers up and said, nah, never mind. Called up Baku and Gotake and said, come get your boy. Come get your boy out of here before he actually gets himself killed. And I really like how afterwards, that interaction with him and Baku too, because Baku thanked him, because I said, I know it feels weird, but he should have thanked him, because he definitely would have died. Like Juntae probably would have been either dead or darn near if Sungjae hadn't interrupted. And, Sungjae, of course, tried to pick a fight again with Baku, saying, oh, he doesn't sound like you're the alpha of the school if you're apologizing to me. Right? He's like, your friends, these two here look like they're the bosses. They're way more serious than you. And I love that Baku's like, again, Baku's he never came across to me as arrogant. And he's not, right? He's damn good at fighting, but not because he wants to be top fighter, right? What I've picked up of Baku is he's a damn good fighter because he's had to be. He learned to fight and he learned to win so he wouldn't have to keep fighting. That was his intention anyways. Didn't always go that way, but that was his intent. So anyway, all that to say, he doesn't have ego. He doesn't want to prove anything to anyone. So when Sungjae was trying to poke him with that, he just said, yeah, you're right. As far as I'm concerned, these two absolutely are stronger than me. I mean, it's true. Both of them don't have this level of fighting skill or strength that I do, and they're still willing to stand up for what they believe in. So yeah, they are stronger than me. And anyways, thanks. Bye. Right? And Sungjae was because right, that's what happens, right? I'm sure you've heard the expression of, the very famous one, turn the other cheek, or there's another going scriptural if we're going to stay there. This is that a smile when how's it go? Something around something along the lines of like an attitude or disposition when mild can turn away rage. And all that to say is like, the point is that when someone's coming at you with certain energy, if you don't return that energy, it's going to dissipate. That's literally the law of physics. If someone's coming at you like, I want to fight you, I want to beat you, I want to come for you, and you don't give them that energy in return, it's not to say they won't hurt you, for the record. I mean, I'm not saying that some people are not going to still hurt you, but I promise you the wind's going to go out of their sails a lot faster than if you meet their energy and cause that energy to grow, right? And so with Sungjae, he either feeds off of fear or he feeds off of the adrenaline that you get trying to fight him. That's what always gives him the energy to fight. He didn't get that from Baku. Baku saw that he was trying to do and was like, yeah, okay, I was sure. I mean, I think Sungjae even knew he couldn't beat Baku anyways, but the fact that Baku didn't rise to him, he was like, oh, right? All the fun's gone for him, right? So anyways, I love that he kind of just sat back after, was like, huh. These guys are he can't figure them out. He's definitely trying to figure that whole situation out. Or maybe, just maybe, he's starting to slowly regain some level of sanity. But anyway, that was that. And then outside of that, we saw a little bit into, remember last episode, I was saying it'd be nice to see inside of Xian's head a bit more, because even though we see his talks with Suho, which is a little bit of his inner dialogue, we don't really know what he's thinking or where he's at, or what's kind of keeping him up at nights. And then this episode, we kind of touched on it. And again, I would kind of say the same thing that I'd say about Baekjin, and then I would have liked to see more of these kinds of, like, they could have gotten him, because I feel like this scenario in this episode of him being in the ring with what was his name? I can't remember his name now. I'm so sorry. Bumsok. I feel like that's been a recurring dream for him. I don't think this was the first time he was in the ring and that Bumsok was there. This was absolutely something that was probably keeping him up at nights. And I would have loved to see more of that throughout the season so we could understand more of how the shifts were happening. I think, and maybe they did do it and they chose to cut it in the end, but I feel like it would have been a great progression if in episode 1 we saw him in that ring and Bumsok is coming at him and yelling at him, and we see him just kind of taking the berating and crying in his ring in the corner, or his corner of the ring, I should say. And then as the season goes on and we see him getting closer to these guys and making friends, Bumsok gets further and further kind of into the background, and his voice even starts to get muted, or, something to indicate that influence over Xian is decreasing, because he's now starting to live in the present instead of being locked into what happened last season. And I just think that would have been great to give us a little bit of insight, but we'll take what we got in this episode. And I'm kind of glad that they showed that, as I've said multiple times, Sheehan is still sadly locked in the past. He's locked in what happened last season. The guilt has kept him trapped there, but he's finally ready to kind of let that go. Right? He really is 100% ready to just stop worrying about what happened to Bumsok, let go of that. And I love that he kept saying to him, I have to go. I can't, I have to leave this ring, this trap, this place I've been stuck in for so long because it's not serving me anymore. I have friends. I like to feel happy. I want to move forward. I can't change what happened. And I can't change you. So let me move forward. And that's huge for him because much like Baku, Sheehan was trying to take responsibility for someone else who made their own decisions. And that's something as humans we simply can't do. Even if you're a parent, if your child decides to do some crazy stuff, I mean, assuming you did the best you could, in the end, your child's their own person, right? If they're going to go and do crazy stuff, they're going to do crazy stuff because that's their life and their decisions. So there's a certain point where you got to just say, okay, I did my best. And that's what happened. Like Sheehan, everything he did for Bumsok was because he cared about him and he tried to help him or thought he was helping him. And Bumsok was the one who decided to take that and twist it into something else that had nothing to do with Sheehan. And of course, Suo is unfortunately just sad collateral damage of it all. And then in the same case with Baku, Baku talked about all the guilt he keeps carrying, thinking that his friends keep getting hurt because of him. And it's not because of him. They're choosing to be by his side. And that's, I think, why he broke down with his dad when I knew his dad, by the way, was not going to be mad at Sheehan. Because Sheehan spoke truth. He wasn't rude about it either. He was just like, your son's a great kid. You need to get your act together, sir, which was fair. But anyways, that's why I think Baku broke down with his dad, was because in that moment, I think hearing Sheehan had come despite everything, after he told Sheehan to go away and said, I don't want anything to do with you, even though he knew that he was off doing stuff for the union, instead of basically saying, oh, to hell with you, Baku, Sheehan and his friends showed up at his house and were still like, is he okay? And by the way, Dad, get your act together and leave our friend alone, right? So I think that's when it finally started to hit Baku that this is real friendship. This is what it means for someone to really care about you. These people, yes, they're getting hurt, but it's because of Baekjin. Baekjin is causing them to get hurt, not you. They're choosing to be with you. They're choosing to be your friends. They're choosing to support you. And they know the risk. At this point, they know that spending time with you means that Baekjin is going to mess with them too, and they still choose to be by your side. So stop trying to be guilty and feel like you got to protect everybody. I mean, the sentiment is beautiful, but I think he needed to understand that so that he could start making decisions for himself, because he's not a gangster, right? He's not a gangster. I mean, he's a G in that he takes care of his friends, but he ain't a thug. He ain't no lowly thug like Baekjin. That's not him. He can't do it. It makes his spirit feel sick because it's not who he really is. So anyway, I'm glad that he finally got that resolved too, and he can finally just embrace that he can ask for help as well, because he was trying to shoulder it all by himself, much like Sheehan, and no one can go at this life alone, and definitely not a situation like this. So we see that gave him the strength that he needed. He said after seeing what happened, seeing that Sheehan's okay, the fact that Sheehan is so, like, seeing the way Sheehan woke up and thought of Suho first thing, it really reinforced to Baku that, these are his ride or die friends. So he grabbed his megaphone, went to the school, Mr. Perfect Student, said, listen, you little bitch. I'm telling you, come bring all your best to the school, Eunjang versus you. And when we win, you're going to disband the union and leave us the hell alone. By the way, he runs the union, guys. Your perfect little student's a gangster, just so you know. Love that. And I love that he used the police sound first. The way Baekjin clinched, I know he almost wet himself. But anyway, that's good, because all this is just symbolism of the fact that Baekjin has lost the grip that he had, although it was tenuous at best anyway, but he's losing it, right? He lost Sunjae, which is a huge blow. You see all the people in there were already chattering about the fact that Sunjae just left. And now the boss showed up at the alley again, because of course the boss knew about the police. I was right about the fact that he definitely has people there. And he's like, you let someone break in, someone grabbed evidence. Yeah, it turned out that evidence probably would have been useless anyways, but still. And this is the second time I've had someone go to the cops about things to do with this ring. You're supposed to be keeping this on lock. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? That's what I'm paying you handsomely for. Not happening. Get it together. So I love that it's showing that, between the boss, very unhappy with him, Sungjae in the wind, some of his people now starting to mutter about the fact that Sungjae and these other people are still in the wind. The Baku's got off his leash as well. Like my man does not have things under control. Even when they came back and told him about the ledger and Baekjin was like, why is there a page missing? And they're like, oh yeah, I'll get it back. But then he's like, but for real though, he's like, what's going on with Baku? Like, what's happening there? Why did he come and stop us? Wasn't he supposed to be under your control? Of course, he didn't have an answer for that. Oh, do I have to explain that to you? Kinda, kinda, actually, if we're following you like sheep. But yeah, it just shows that the grip that he's got has been slipping. And of course, it's slipping because he's so obsessed with Baku. So obsessed with getting this person to respect him as the gangster and be his bestie, even though he doesn't like him. And that's what Sungjae was trying to say to him back in episodes 2 and 3 is that, bro, this obsession you have with this guy is going to be the end of it. Like, this is literally what's killing us right now. And, you know, Baekjin just refuses to see that. He wants to get what he wants. And so the challenge has been thrown, though. The gauntlet is down. We want this to end. And I agree that at this point, Eunjang needs to help start fighting for themselves, too. It was kind of unfair that Baku was the only one taking all the beatings for them. So if they want to be left alone and they want to stop this thing where they're going to have to give up all their valuables to this crime syndicate, it's time they all stand up for themselves. Because the union is not every student at every other school. It's a group of his own kids, of Baekjin's little minions that he's put together. A good chunk of them can fight, but can they take on an entire school by themselves? Are they going to want to? Sometimes all you need to do is stand up to your bullies, you know? So we'll have to see what happens in the next episode. I think I was right. My prediction back in episode 1. What we saw, that snippet of that all-out brawl, that seems to be what we're gonna be watching in the next episode. So I feel like it's gonna be like episode 3, where it's gonna be like a long, probably 20 minutes of pure fighting, adrenaline. But I feel like that's a great way to end this show on, if that's what they're doing. Who knows? There might be a class 3. I mean, my poor boy Sheen actually has another year of high school, but let's hope he doesn't have to go through this again. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it, and I did enjoy this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.